Top 10 countries for Americans who wish to live abroad. Americans love to travel. According to Statista, about 44.81 million US residents traveled overseas in 2019, perhaps for business purposes or to visit different cities, unwind, and explore vast cultures. Even amidst the pandemic, there has been approximately 9.84 million US residents who still venture out into international cities. Apparently, it was a significant drop in figures due to travel restrictions across the globe, but it is clear that Americans are eager to learn more outside the country they are living in. Whether they are alone backpacking or with friends and family, they take advantage of these international trips to escape from their mundane duties and experience something new. Some love the adventures, but some of them considered leaving the US and decided to stay abroad. CNBC says that the main reason US residents decide to renounce their citizenship and stay abroad is the burden of the tax filing requirements. Some relocate because of their jobs or their spouses, while others feel that their government was a letdown. Some just want a new adventure and experience a whole new life. If you ever pondered upon these reasons, chances that you are considered living abroad. In this list, you will find the 10 top countries for Americans who wish to live abroad, what makes them special, and why you should consider living there. Number 10. Vietnam. Some say it is a paradise for American expats because of its warm and welcoming culture. Not to mention the beautiful and popular cities of Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, and Da Nang, where you can find the thriving expat community. Some take delight in incredibly affordable lifestyle and some take advantage of job opportunities in English teaching. While the largest metropolis, Ho Chi Minh, is the so-called city that never sleeps because of the energy and the bustle. Da Nang is a coastal city that lets you revel in a carefree lifestyle with all the sun, seafood, and sandy beaches. The delish food, amazing culture, breathtaking sights and sceneries, and the super low cost of living are what captivate merry Americans to move in. Number 9. Spain. If you ever want to experience life in Europe without spending a massive outlay, Spain is probably your best bet. From the beautiful beaches like Gran Canaria, which is a Canary island, and Palma de Mallorca, to the stunning cities of Barcelona and Madrid, Spain is a cradle of vast cities and places that offer laid-back culture and friendly and accommodating people. Not to mention the flavorful and delicious food cuisine and cheap wine. Although Spain is not the best place to find and settle in a stable job due to lack of available job opportunities and high unemployment rate, it can be the perfect place to try out a new career and discover what you really love doing. Thankfully, the Spanish government offers a self-employment visa that paves the way for expats to freelance and venture into different career paths. Number 8. New Zealand. Every time I hear about New Zealand, the first thing that comes to mind is the vast and serene green pastures, icy mountains, breathtaking glaciers, and clear waters. It speaks to me as the perfect destination to explore the stunning sights of nature. No wonder it has become a well-known place for film locations and outdoor adventures. But for an American expat who is seriously considering living here, not only do you experience these magnificent sights in New Zealand, but also try out different careers. Go to Auckland if you want to experience art, culture, and food, while Wellington must be your best spot for famous film locations like Lord of the Rings and other scenic places. Actually, you can already try staying for a year and pick up temporary jobs if you have a working holiday visa. Number 7. Sweden. If you have the budget and want to experience serene places as you frolic in the sun and revel in fresh air, you will probably find living in Sweden worth every penny. Despite the expensive cost of living, the wide and open space for tranquil living is one of the trade-offs of moving to Sweden. It is known to be among the lowest population densities in the world, far from the hustle and bustle of New York City. While it is a picturesque city for serenity, it is also home for countless outdoor activities and adventures, including swimming, kayaking, dog sledding, and mud summer festivals. For expats seeking a land to a stable job in this country, they can expect ease and balance between work and life. For instance, new parents have months-long paid leaves, while most employees can take advantage of their paid vacations. Number 6. South Korea. The colorful life and unique culture captivate many expats to travel and stay in South Korea. It is more than just the home of K-pop, delicious food, bathhouses, Noria Bank, which is the Korean karaoke house, vast shopping centers, but also a sweet retreat for Americans who want to explore different cultures and live an adventurous lifestyle. Busan lets you enjoy in-country life and fresh seafood as well as bask in the summer sun with their tranquil beaches. But if you're missing the hustle and bustle and energy of the city, entertainment hubs, night markets, and street food, Seoul must be a perfect spot. And if your pastime and work pressure reliever includes boozing, the country has open container laws that allow you to revel in soju at any time of the day and even out in the streets. Known for their high-tech scenes, it is a no-brainer that South Korea is among the countries with the fastest Wi-Fi speeds across the globe. Finding a place to stay is not hard to come by, but living with a roommate can cut back the expenses. If you're a Native American, the profession as an English teacher or instructor for Koreans is your best shot. South Korea also offers self-employment visas that can open many career options for expats. Number 5. Thailand. If you're up for a whole new experience without spending a massive outlay on your lifestyle, Thailand must be your best bet. Apart from its breathtaking sceneries, the capital city, Bangkok, offers incredibly cheap housing and accommodation, inclusive of amazing perks like pool, gym, and even sauna. But you'd be surprised to find much cheaper accommodations, especially if you do not mind living without a carefree city life. For freelancers and self-employed expats who have just been figuring out a way of living, you can loosen up in Chiang Mai and enjoy an established network of services and array of shops. With more than 40,000 foreigners living in the city, you can settle in social circles and a community of freelancers. Plus, English is the commonly spoken language even among many locals in the city. Number 4. Mexico. One of the many reasons why a lot of Americans move to Mexico is the low cost of living, particularly on rent. The cost usually ranges between $400 to $1,000, which is relatively much cheaper on what most Americans pay solely on rent back in their country. Many longtime expats, including Tim Leffel, who wrote a book about moving and living overseas, consider Mexico among the greatest cities to relocate to, especially if you want to cut back from all of your expenses beside rent. What's more fascinating is that you can find a lot of services quite accessible without spending a ton of cash, from health services, entertainment, and deliciously good food. Besides Mexico City, you may find a home in Guadalajara for some scenic mountain views surrounding the city. Plus, their economic expansion paves the way for many more housing and job opportunities, specifically in the technology field. Merida, on the other hand, is considered one of the safest cities to live in Mexico, while Puebla offers a more laid-back kind of life. Puebla is just 2 hours away from Mexico and also provides access to some of the most fascinating and attractive towns in the country. Number 3. Austria. Besides the breathtaking sceneries and clean alpine air, Austria has become a sweet haven for many expats because of numerous delights. Not to mention the neighboring countries like Switzerland, Germany, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, and Czech Republic, and other stunning destinations you can visit to treat yourself a well-deserved break. Furthermore, Austria stands out for its efficient and hassle-free public transport, quality healthcare, and highly reputable education system that many Americans will find as a superb takeaway while living in the country. Another thing not to miss about the country is their viewpoint towards working and enjoying life. Austrians view working late as lack of enthusiasm and skill for the job, which is why they make sure to leave on time and spend valuable time with their families. Thus, this country must be your future home if you want to enjoy an excellent balance between work and life. And speaking of a job, finding one is not quite difficult. You can start as a freelancer or look up some openings in the field of finance and technology. But if you speak English, you can have a greater chance of discovering job opportunities such as landing a job in the daily newspaper companies. How about rentals and housing? Fortunately, living in Austria isn't expensive, with the rental cost ranging between 300 to 900 euros a month. However, it still depends on where you live in the country. For example, you may find a more affordable option in rural towns. On the other hand, living in the capital, Vienna, demands much higher costs whether you opt for flats or houses, but you will definitely find yourself in a city with the best coffee shops in this caffeine-loving country. Number 2. Costa Rica. It is not just the cool mountains, picturesque sights, lush rainforests, and beautiful beaches that make Costa Rica a country that has been frequented by many Americans. But you should ever find yourself an expat in this amazing country, these are the takeaways to indulge in along with the perks of permanently living here. This includes access to affordable medical care, hassle-free flights, efficient transportation, and straightforward programs for permanent residency. Known for the country's philosophy, Pura Vida, which translates into pure life, you can have a glimpse of what it is like to live in this tropical gem. It is indeed a destination that can give you a euphoric sense of freedom as you enjoy the scenes of natural beauty and laid-back lifestyle. Since it boasts a low crime rate, you will also find a lot of foreigners in this country. Spanish is the primary language, although English is commonly spoken in vast communities, particularly in areas where many expats have settled in as well. When it comes to hunting jobs, you can expect some difficulties at your first try. Nevertheless, a lot of expats have landed themselves different jobs in call centers and as tour operators. If you speak English, you may also find yourself securing a job as a language teacher in school and English academies. Moreover, some expats find it much easier to work for foreign companies. This is because work permits are not required for this type of job since their income comes from abroad. Number 1. Portugal. It is the reasonable cost of living that makes Portugal an attractive destination for many American expats who want to live abroad. Whether you wish to settle for a comfortable lifestyle or cut back on your overall expenses, you can have a place you can call home in any of the popular cities in the country. Even when you opt to stay in the coastal city of Lisbon, which is also the capital, the cost of living is 57% much cheaper than New York and 46% in London. Other cities such as Porto, Coimbra, and Braga are also offer low cost of living that range between 52% to 66% cheaper than New York. Besides that, the aforementioned cities have their fascinating sights and delights that you can revel in. Lisbon is known for its lineup of museums, historical landmarks such as Castelo de São Jorge, which is the St. George's Castle, which is also among the most popular tourist spots in Portugal for its museums, archaeological sites, and fascinating walls and towers that families can explore. If you want to visit the city's sightseeing highlight, you should find yourself in Mosteiro dos Jerónimos, which is the Jerónimos Monastery, which falls under UNESCO World Heritage Site list for its historical significance. Porto is also a cradle of historic churches and palaces as well as cafes and restaurants worth visiting. Finding a stable source of income might be a little challenging if you want to start a business. You need to acquire a Portuguese work visa as well as a residence permit to start off. However, there are many job opportunities for expats in the fields of IT, marketing, and online tech jobs. Just a heads up, the current minimum wage in Portugal is relatively lower than Spain, which is around 665 euros monthly. But this should not be an issue, since the cost of living in Portugal is substantially lower than elsewhere in Western Europe. As an American expat or anyone who wants to live abroad, it is definitely no piece of cake to let go of your comforts and move to another place you can call home. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, keep in mind that travel restrictions may vary according to the country you want to visit. Make sure to check the regulations and safety protocols as well as the considerations about your personal health and comfort conditions before booking for overseas trips. Should you ever decide where to settle in, the first step is to plan and calculate your expenses. Hopefully this list has also helped you out. What do you think of this list? Let us know your thoughts.